Hello YouTube, Duke of Freaks here with, well, I'm just going to take a peek into this deck a little bit more. Some of you have been asking questions, sending me PMs. Some of you have been asking me why I run what I run, interesting build, things like that. So I'm just going to get into a little bit of information about this deck. It's pretty simple, to tell you the truth. It's mostly spamming everything possible, abusing game mechanics. The fact that Hush Psychic Cleric and Serene Psychic Witch cannot miss timing. Timing is something that kills off things, like Karakuris, or I think. I know Naturias die because of timing. When it comes to, let's say, Synchro Summoning with Rock, you don't really get its effect off, things like that. It says you can, so it misses its timing. A deck like this, almost every single effect in this deck is mandatory. It says you must. When this card leaves the field, do this. It's literally that simple. A lot of people don't realize that. But you get all of its everything. Okay. And like I said in one of my videos, I love to double sleeve my cards. Someone else also wondered how many cards this deck is. It's got double sleeves. Okay. The first card of the deck. 2 Overdrive Teleporters, which you combine with your emergency teleports to just own. One of the simplest things to do with this deck is to start off with a hand that contains emergency teleport, Hush Psychic Cleric, or, well, actually let's just say, let's put Hush Psychic Cleric back. Let's just say you have a, like, Serene Psychic Witch, or any level 3 in this deck, actually. You could start with a Serene Psychic Witch, you could start out with a Hush Psychic Cleric, or you could even start out with a Psychic Commander. Any one of these 3, which you run 3 of each, this guy and this. And you've got an amazing setup already. What you do, you teleport into a Cleric. Easy enough to understand so far, right? Activate the Cleric's effect. Let's just say you ditch a Commander. You discard a Commander, and it gets banished by Cleric's effect. Now you tribute off your Cleric for your Overdrive Teleporter. Commander is then special summoned. Simple enough. Very, very simple. Then you can activate the effect of your Overdrive Teleporter, special summoning, let's just say, the other 2 Clerics that were in your deck. So far, easy to understand. Now you've got a field that consists of an Overdrive Teleporter, a Commander, and 2 Clerics, and you still have 3 cards in your hand. So what you could do, depending on what you have, you could ditch whatever you have. I'm just going to say you have a Silent Psychic Wizard, Esper Girl. Okay, so you ditch both of these. They both become banished. You can then Synchro Summon for 9. Which the 9-star I go for in this deck, which is pretty much the all-star Synchro, is, well, Overmind Archfiend. His effect is once per turn, you can banish a Psychic from your grave. And when this card is sent from the field to the grave, special summon as many of those as possible with this effect. You also get to special summon this and special summon this. You still have 1 card in your hand. This Esper Girl's effect activates, which banishes the top card of your deck. You can then either Synchro Summon 6 for Barkion, or go straight into what I like to do, is just going straight into Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon gives you that little bit of protection from destruction, such as, well, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, any kind of destruction just gets prevented with Stardust Dragon. So you've got a Stardust Dragon, Overmind Archfiend, and a Psychic Wizard on the field. Now, you can just activate the effect of your Overmind Archfiend, just banishing stuff once per turn. I would banish 2 of these. Wait, no. Yeah, 2 of those. 1 of these. And if possible, 2 of those. So you have special 2, 2, and 1. With this setup, you'll pretty much get this guy back, Beast and Barkion on the field, and whatever other Synchro you want, depending on what you have in your hand. And it could be almost nothing. You could just discard all your spells and traps and still have that field. That's one of the big combos in this deck that I love going over. and it's first turn almost every time, just because the stuff to get it out, it's so easy. Okay, now that I've went over Overdrive Teleporter and Emergency Teleport, sorry, Drive. Those are very simple cards. Oh, by the way, Emergency Teleport is once per turn you can special summon, or not once per turn. When this card is activated, you special summon level 3 or lower Psychic from your deck. So, it's a good card. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my stacks up a little better again. I'm trying to go over a lot of cards in this deck. Okay, those are out of the way. Next, I like to do is abuse the Serene Psychic Witch. She can be destroyed by anything and still get her effect off. And her effect is mandatory, unlike, you know, some effects that aren't mandatory. So if you have this on the field, what I like doing is combining her with Torrential Tribute. I've faced certain decks before that have had time to set up, so what I do is I once had a hand of 3 of these and 1 Torrential. I set the first 2, then on my last turn, when my opponent summoned, or like when I summon my monster, I just Torrential, wipe all 3, and get 3 free summons from my deck next turn. And they special summon during your opponent's standby phase, which you could just go ahead and special summon like 3 of these, or you can go 2 of them in an Esper Girl and just start getting draws off. It's pretty easy. Torrential Tribute also builds up a great defense. It takes out all monsters on the field, and since these are all mandatory effects, they all get their effects off. It works really well. I'm trying to speed through a little bit. I'm taking way too long. This is like your trump card of the deck right here. This is amazing. The Serene Psychic Witch, or Serene Psychic Cleric. Oh, I can't speak tonight. It's horrible. Hush Psychic Cleric. This guy's nice. He's summoned, he's automatically switched to defense. He's a 21 wall, and once per turn you can discard a card to banish Psychic from your grave. I mean, he can get any Psychic. He can get any one of the Synchros in this extra deck. He can get almost any one of the monsters in the deck besides, like, Overdrive Teleporter. It's just, he's a great card. Run this guy at 3 if you're going to run a full body Psychic deck. If you're splashing Psychics, 1 or 2. If you're running full body Psychics, 3. This is something people aren't very fond of, Esper Girl. I've seen people running 1 Esper Girl, no Esper Girls, almost all Kribbins. See, I'm not a fan of Kribbins. I don't run any Kribbins. My only level 2 tuner in this deck is right here, Esper Girl. She provides amazing draw power, and she just, I don't even know how to describe it, just works better for the deck than Kribbins does. She's level 2, and she's an Earth tuner, which means you can go for Beast and Barkion just like that. Yeah, she provides draw power. When she's summoned from the special summon zone, you banish the top card of your deck face down. And when it's sent from the field to the grave, add it to your hand. Which is great for Synchro summoning. Next, Triple Commander. I can understand why people like to run this. This is so much better than Mental Seeker. I used to run Mental Seeker, but he just clogged up the hand. He couldn't be normal summoned because he just was horrible. This guy right here at least has a chance to be normal summoned because, well, his effect, he's a 1400 attack, and he lowers the attack of the attacking monster or the monster he's attacking by 500 by paying 500 life points. So he's pretty much a 1900 3-star. Just like that. So much better than Mental Seeker. Mental Seeker's effect when he's special summoned from the banishment zone is you banish one of the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. That's okay, that's decent, but I definitely prefer this guy. And he's a part of the thing I should do at the beginning. Destructotron. I don't run any MSTs in this deck, and I just have 1 Psychokinesis for, you know, destruction purposes. But this guy right here isn't that bad. Level 4, Earth, 1600 attack, and you can pay life points in intervals of 1000 to destroy any number of spells and traps on the field equal to that number. So you can just pay 1000, destroy, pay 1000, destroy, pay 1000, destroy. Which he's good for last second OTK move, if you get him on the field. Silent Psychic Wizard. I run him at 1, a lot of people like 2. I've even seen 3 of them being run because his effect can be abused and he's a 1900 beat stick. But with this deck right here, you're just trying to get it out fast. You don't want to have, you know, a normal summon just for a single turn move. This is good late game or even early game if you have your Esper Girl destroyed by battle because you didn't have any other monsters in your hand. Yeah. When he's normal summoned, you banish Psychic from your grave. When you send from the field to the grave, you special summon that monster. And now, another last minute thing is the Reinforced Human Psychic Borg. I love this guy, actually. He's amazing. He's 1500 attack, 4 stars, and he's endgame material. Once per turn, up to twice per turn, so 2 times per turn, you can banish a Psychic type monster from your grave to make this guy permanently gain 500. So first turn he's 2,500 attack, second turn he's 3,500, as long as you have the stuff in your grave to go along with it. He's also an Earth, so he synchros for Beast and Barkion pretty well. Except I don't have anything to summon with Beast with him. Okay, stuff that doesn't need too much explaining. 2 Valor, a Gores, and a Sangan. This is the only non-psychic stuff in my deck. This is for searching purposes, this is for protection purposes, and these right here are just to stop annoying effects that just bother the crap out of me. I don't even need to go into explanation of those. Psychokinesis, you take 1,000 damage and you destroy a spell and trap card on the field, or not spell and trap, you destroy any card on the field, if you control face-up Psychic type monster. I run it at 1 just to kind of tech it in a little bit, because, well, not many people run this card, and I love this card. It's destroyed a lot of things before. I've been able to destroy the last second Mirror Force. Sure, I take 1,000 damage, but it's worth it because you get to keep all your big heavy monsters. Sorry that the camera keeps going though. It's my first time using this camera. I run 2 Duality. You don't need to run any more. You special a lot with this deck, so 2 works just fine. I might even drop it down to 1. I just threw this guy in and I haven't really had time to test him yet, but it's a Scapegoat. He helps with your synchro summoning. If you have this guy on the field and an Esper Girl, you pretty much got a level 3, 4, 5, and 6 synchro. Whatever you want, pretty much. Depending on what monster it is, or you could have like anything really. Scapegoat is also good protection too. You set it if you don't have anything, your opponent attacks, you Scapegoat, you have 4 little tokens on the field. They destroy 1, 2... You've got 2 tokens left for synchro summoning. It just works well. Miracle Synchro Fusion for that ultimate Axon kicker. And for destruction purposes. You set it face down, your opponent MSTs it, you get to draw a card with its effect. It's just all around good. Stuff I don't really need to explain too much. Book of Moon, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, and Dark Hole. Just staples, and I like Book of Moon. It protects me and helps me use my Overdrive Teleporters effect. Here's something that people don't really like running very much. It is Psychic Overload. You can take 3 Psychic monsters in your graveyard, throw them back to the deck, shuffle, and draw 2. It's a mini Pot of Everest that can be chained for Psychics. I set this thing, they MST it, I chain it, I draw 2, they get pissed. I mean, they just lost an MST and I got 2 cards in my hand. It's hilarious. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. Just for protection. Single Mirror Force and a Solemn Judgment. All of it protection. That's all I really use it for. I want to be able to get my moves off, and sometimes it does take a turn of setting up. Oops. Right now, I run a Mizu Rhythm just because I don't own any Zen mains. Yes, I will be running Zen mains in this deck. There's crap tons of level 3s, and you can special summon so easily with this deck. But yeah, right now I just run Mizu Rhythm. If a Dijin monster attacks or is attacked, or no, it's just when it's attacked, you can ditch a material and that monster gains like 1500 attack. So this guy right here, you pretty much just have it on the field, your opponent attacks it, he becomes 3k. I think that's what it is. No, it's only when this guy's attacking. So you attack with him, ditch, he becomes 3k. I guess he's good for suiciding. Next, Catastor. Since you've got so easy with level 5s with this deck, I mean, why not run a Catastor? It destroys pretty much anything. The only thing it doesn't destroy is a Dark Monster, which you don't really come across too many of those anymore anyway, unless you're fighting Chaos Dragons. I don't know, darks just don't seem that prominent anymore. It's always about light, you know, stuff like that. Dinosaurs. Insectors are dark, but he can usually beat over one of them. And I do run Beast and Barkion. I plan on upping one of them, maybe both of them, just because you can go for Beast and Barkion that easily with this deck. Brio, because you usually have a lot of cards in your hand, a lot of monsters on the field, and you don't really trust that back row. Just get rid of their back row. Gaia Knight for that attack damage, I could drop him real easy. Landois, I almost never went for him, I could drop him real easy. A Stardust Dragon, a Red Dragon Archfiend, I could drop the Red Dragon Archfiend, I don't really go for him that often. Some of these cards, they're just not really used that often. 2 androids on the other hand, I always go double android. That's why I want a TG Hyper Librarian for this deck. I can Synchro Summon really quickly, and I just be able to plus even more than I already do. Psychic Nightmare, don't really go for him as much. Like I said, I really need to revamp this extra deck a little bit. Thought Ruler Archfiend, I can't get rid of him. I love this guy. Even though I don't really go for him that often, I still love my Thought Ruler Archfiend. He's one of my favorite synchros of all time. Overmind Archfiend, one of my favorites. You guys know what it does. I went over it earlier. I didn't go over its attack though. It's 3,300 attack. It's a beat stick. It's a huge beat stick. It's hard to get over. People always have trouble getting over this guy. Even in defense position with 3k defense, he's trouble. He's a bothersome little thing. And last but not least, this is what you Miracle Synchro Fusion into. Ultimate Axon Kicker, level 12, not 12, it's level 12, light. It's 2,900 attack, 1,700 defense. It can't be destroyed by battle. Let me just read it. It's cannot be destroyed by card effects. During battle, it inflicts piercing damage. When it destroys an opponent's monster, you gain life points equal to that monster's attack. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, that was the entire deck. I kind of explained things a little more because I jumped around a lot with my deck profile because I was trying to speed through it. My old camera, my flip camera that's sitting just right over there next to my pile of useless garbage. I got more cards over there. I do like showing off my room a little bit. I don't know why. There you go. See? Boxes of cards, binders of cards, cards sitting right next to me. But yeah. Thank you for watching. Sorry about that. I get distracted really easily. But, alright. I hope you guys have a good time and you understand my Psychic deck a little bit more. I went over things. I've tried playing these things for a long time, and mine's the best that I've dueled before. I haven't come across a Psychic deck that's been able to beat mine. Hopefully I will one day. I want to learn more, and I want to figure out how to fix this deck up even more, because I still don't feel like it's super amazing. I just feel like it's good. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.